you feel it? South Florida is electric, knowing the Miami Heat has now secured 3 of the NBA's biggest names to play right here next season.
Tonight, the trio is complete. LeBron James joining Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to play for the Heat.
I'm going to bring you into the back of the stage. There's going to be a staging area. I'm going to load the 3 of you on the lift. There's X's everywhere your spike marks are.
And it's going to be a dramatic hour here tonight. They're expecting a huge crowd.
Yeah. All right, let's go. We're going to go this way and cut through flagship, whoever's leading.
I got it.
Yes, we did! Yes, we did!
What's going on, man?
All that?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
It's Miami's new dream team, LeBron, Dwayne, and Chris hitting the stage in a big way tonight, and fans are going crazy.
We good? We good?
The fans of Miami is excited about what's about to happen, what's about to transpire, and you know, me, Bosh, and D Wade. I mean, we happy.
Mickey Harrison and Pat Riley had a plan and a vision. It was to bring a dynasty to you, the Heat fan, to enjoy for a half decade, if not more.
We looked around, looked at each other, you know, when we all came up, and you just felt like this is the right thing. You know, this is how it should be done.
To be here with D Wade, to be here with CB, I understand now that I've made the right decision.
At the end of the day, I always said that I was going to do what was best for my family, and then I thought about it. Miami is my family. This organization is my family.
It's all about basketball. It's all about winning. If it was about the money and if it was about numbers, we'd all go back to our respective teams.
You know, we're not here to sell jerseys. We're not here to pump up ratings. You don't make a decision like this just to get out of the first round. Our goal is to win championships.
The summer of 2010 was the most anticipated free agent market in the history of the NBA. For the Heat, signing 3 of the league's brightest stars was merely the first task for Heat owner Mickey Harrison and President and GM Pat Riley. The second was to assemble a supporting cast of role players and veterans to complement the Heat's trio.
Christmas in July continued for Heat fans with news that Udonis Haslem is returning to the Heat.
Mike Miller officially signs off on a 5-year deal.
The Heat added size to the roster today with 7'3" Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Free agent guard Eddie House agreed to a 2-year contract with the Heat today.
Miami's roster is just about complete today, making it official, inking free agent forward Juwan Howard, another veteran.
I like the fact that you guys sacrificed. It's been a big word this offseason, and you committed to each other.
Do this together all year, man. Together on 3.
1, 2, 3, together.
The next step for the new look Heat was to participate in the largest media day in franchise history.
It's almost like being in a movie. There were people filming us filming them.
You know, we're just like every other team in the league. You know, we're coming in and our aspirations is to win a championship, and we understand that we have a lot of work to do before that's even possible. And it's going to be a long journey, but it's going to be a fun one.
Dwayne, can you sit up a little taller?
Like
There we go.
I'm going to keep my same ratio.
Yes.
Well, then we got the major question here.
I'll make something up. We came here to play together. We came here to play as a team. And no team in NBA history can only do it with 3 guys. It's going to take, you know, guy 1 through 15. It's a whole team effort.
El Miami Heat está caliente.
Me and C. Bosh and D Wade united to win a championship. I mean, We're going to bring our A game every night and play as hard as we can and try to bring a championship to South Florida.
Immediately following Media Day, the team flew to Eglin Air Force Base in the Florida Panhandle to begin a much-anticipated training camp. Upon arrival, they were treated to a patriotic welcome. The next morning, it was time to get to work. And the focus was simple: defense, intensity, and serious competition.
I'm always going to continue to be a leader no matter what team I'm on, and just continue to improve.
For us, we love to work, and we love to do it very competitively. And this makes it, probably the most competitive practice, in the Miami Heat uniform that I've had.
To get to where we want to go, it has to be intense. We know that other teams like the Celtics, the Lakers, the Magic, they're out there working very, very hard. So we probably have to go harder for that matter.
Off the court, the team found time to bond during some field exercises demonstrated by the officers on the base.
We can never compare what we do to what they do, but we can take some of the things that they implement and we can apply it to what we do.
Overall, it's probably one of the best training camps I've had. If not the best, because guys just came in and worked. And guys was in shape from the beginning, and we didn't waste no time.
There are 8 NBA preseason games today, but there's really only one. Most of the attention will be on the Miami Heat.
It's going to be exciting for the guys to get on the floor and just to see how things start to work versus other teams, that we can start now seeing where our strengths and our weaknesses are. That's what we're looking forward to.
Fans, we welcome you to the 23rd season of Miami Heat NBA basketball, and what a season we are about to embark on.
The much-anticipated debut of the Heat's new roster was derailed just minutes into the first game of the first quarter.
And Wade is clutching at his right hamstring, and he wants out. Obviously not the way you want to see this preseason begin.
Anytime you get injuries, unfortunate. I don't care what point of the season is in, but it's just giving me opportunity to continue to get stronger and be ready when it's ready.
The Heat were without Wade for the remainder of the preseason. Another key component to the Heat's roster went down when Mike Miller tore a ligament in his right thumb in practice, putting him out for nearly the first 2 months of the regular season.
It's James on the spin and the slam.
How fired up were the citizens of South Florida for the debut of the Big Three Tuesday? The preseason game was the highest-rated telecast for the Heat's regional network, Sun Sports, in 12 years.
We're just now coming together, and we have a little bit longer of a road to get better.
Game 2 of the preseason for the Heat against Oklahoma City tonight.
James came up with a steal, and here he goes.
The Heat finished the preseason with a 3-4 record as they set their eyes on the regular season opening night showdown with the Celtics.
Biggest thing is I'm healthy, and I'll be looking to get my rhythm back over the course of early in the season.
It's the first of many. We're just being thrown in the fire right away. The NBA is back, and the season will be in full swing tomorrow.
A lot of the things that we want to stress this year have nothing to do with X's and O's and strategy. That's how we manage adversity, how we stick together as a family. All those things immediately get tested when you're on the road, especially in a tough place like Boston.
Miami's dream team will open at Boston.
This could be something of a dynasty in the making starting tonight.
This has got to be the biggest NBA game, the most hyped opening game in the history of the league.
Strap yourself in and try to enjoy an amazing ride for this Heat team.
The Heat had assembled this Big Three, and Boston's Big Three was the established Big Three.
With the hyperbole and hype ever present, it was finally time to play. LeBron James, immediate impact.
James, yes! LeBron James with his first field goal as a member of the Miami Heat.
The Heat struggled to find a rhythm early.
Miami is just completely out of sorts.
The Miami Heat are a work in progress.
Boston capitalized, resulting in a sizable halftime lead. With under 5 minutes to play, the Heat used a combination of a 10-point charge and signature Miami defense to close within 3 points.
Wumbo rejected from behind, a chase down by LeBron James.
Despite their rally, the Heat were unable to steal the road win. The NBA's all-time leading three-point shooter saw to it.
Shot clock to 6. Yes! The Celtics hang on. Miami led by LeBron James, but Boston wins it 88-80.
It's a collective effort, and, you know, we fought back, but we came up a little short.
It's going to take time, and we understand that. And, you know, we have to keep on making progress every day and just continue to get better.
In search of rapid redemption, the Heat slipped down the Eastern Seaboard to face the Philadelphia 76ers.
There's Wade breaking through for the first points of tonight's game. Wade gets the slam.
Wade led all scorers with 30 points, but it was James Jones' 6 three-pointers that helped the Heat claim a 10-point victory over the 76ers.
Here comes Dwayne. Jones out of the corner for 3. Kaboom! Oh, boy. And James Jones has tied his personal best with 6 three-pointers in a game. Wow. An atmosphere you cannot believe for the home opener.
It's home, sweet home for the Heat.
After months of anticipation, the home opener for the Miami Heat is finally here.
Finally, indeed. It was a day every Heat fan was awaiting.
On behalf of the Miami Heat organization, all of our coaches, and all of our players, we want to say thank you to all of you fans.
Expectations were high. The Heat did not disappoint.
LeBron's first shot, it's a 3. Kaboom!
Both teams battled to take control of the game in the first half.
James Jones from downtown. Howard spins for the hook, and it drops.
The Heat scored the first 14 points of the second half, turning a close game into a surprisingly one-sided 26-point victory over the Magic.
Eddie House with a good defensive play.
LeBron and Wade.
Look out! D-Wade finishing a beautiful fast break, ignited by defense.
That was amazing. The energy that was in the building, the atmosphere. When they come out that way and support us, we want to give them our best effort. And I think that's what we did.
After wins over New Jersey and Minnesota, the Heat were poised. However, the humbling nature of the grueling NBA season was awaiting around the next turn. First, in New Orleans.
Jones looking, finds Wade from the top, finds House, 3 to tie. Wade misses the tip, 2 seconds left, 1 second, game over.
Then back in Miami against the Utah Jazz. The Heat dominated early, but gave up 84 points and a 23-point lead in the second half. Led by Paul Millsap's 42 points, which included 3 straight threes, the Jazz were able to pull within 2 points.
I've never seen him hit a 3 before. So if you look at every player that they had, he's probably the one that we wanted shooting it.
But maybe not right at the final buzzer.
3 out of the corner. No. Millsap on the follow. Ties the game at 104. We're going to overtime.
After the extra session, the Jazz escaped with the victory.
House for the tie. And the game is over. Utah has done it. They come from 22 down in the second quarter, and they defeat the Heat. A stinging defeat for Miami.
Basketball guys was with them, you know, made the shots. And, you know, we'll learn from the game. As a team, we'll look at it and hopefully grow from it and come out better.
2 nights later, the Heat faced the Celtics at home and were expected to avenge their opening game loss. The struggles continued, though. The game, again, belonged to the reigning Eastern Conference champs.
We have a different timeline, and this is going to be a process, and at times it will be bumpy, and this is a bumpy stretch right now.
The Heat fans are in a panic, a lot of them. The Dream Team is off to a nightmare start. They lost their last 2 games at home.
3 more victories gave the Heat an 8-4 record as they traveled to Memphis and faced a tight game that came to a screeching halt when co-captain Udonis Haslem went down with an injury that would end his regular season.
Udonis Haslem is holding his left foot, and he is not right now.
This does not look good.
No.
That's a warrior right there.
Oh, man.
This was a guy that they were counting on to give them rebounding, give them energy. So it really was a very difficult injury for this team.
The Heat lost Haslem and lost the game.
Rudy for the win! Yes! 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 Yes!
2 nights later, back in Miami, the Heat struggled against the Indiana Pacers, shooting only 38% from the field and suffering back-to-back losses, totaling 6 for the season.
Out of the wing, the long shot, in and out. Another miss by the Heat. It gets no better in the NBA than the Magic and the Miami Heat.
The Heat would try to avoid their first 3-game losing streak of the season while visiting Orlando.
Nelson right down the middle. Pretty pass. Power with the flush.
The Magic were too much that night for the Heat.
Redick 15-footer.
What's happened to the Dream Team? They've been ice cold.
None of us had any idea how difficult it would be to mesh the different talents.
The Heat were able to snap their losing streak against the Sixers and were on to face Dallas. Chris Bosh had an efficient first half, scoring 14 points in the early stages of his return to his hometown.
Bosh open from the elbow. Kaboom.
The second half was a very different story for the Heat. Their miscues led to 13 consecutive Maverick points, and the Mavs never looked back.
7 on the shot clock. Caron Butler. He got a step on LeBron James and sticks a dagger into the Heat's heart.
The Heat would lose to the Mavericks by 11 for their 4th loss in 5 games. Their record would fall to 9-8, and more controversy would follow.
All the detractors with something else to point to, and they're calling it the bump. Right after a timeout, you see LeBron kind of looking straight ahead and bumping right into Spoelstra, doesn't turn around, kind of bumps into him. People wondering if that was intentional. Again, every little move this team makes is dissected closely. That's why this has turned into a controversy.
Really nothing, honestly. Incidental contact, I guess. But it was nothing. I mean, it wasn't intentional.
I didn't even notice until people mentioned it after the game. So it's probably a perfect case of over-speculation.
That night in Dallas, after the loss, a players-only meeting was held to candidly discuss a new direction.
It was a disconnect in our team. You know, you could sit on the floor, and it wasn't that guys didn't like each other. You know, guys didn't know each other.
We just need to figure out, the best way, what our game is going to be, what's our MO going to be.
We needed to come in the locker room and have a conversation about what the problem was and how to make sure that we fix the problem for this won't continue to be a chain effect.
Back in Miami, in what would be a turning point of the season, it was as if they had grown into more than just a team. It was a band of brothers.
The Heat home tonight against Washington.
They hope to put an end to their recent struggles at home against the Wizards.
The Heat have been a team in turmoil after that sluggish start, but tonight they weren't fighting amongst themselves. They were fighting their opponent.
LeBron angling right, past Alonzo G. Hammer time.
You saw the Heat grabbing the ball and going the other way.
Here comes Miami 3-on-1. Wade for LeBron.
This was the month that everything just really seemed to come together.
Cross court, open 3 for Rio. Kaboom. Tonight they win it at home. Congratulations to Eric Spoelstra, his 100th victory as Miami's head coach.
The next challenge the Heat faced was LeBron's epic return to Cleveland.
And it's a special game for our brother, and we're going to try to, of course, win that ball game.
Obviously, emotions will be running high on both sides. We'll be going into a tough arena.
LeBron James and the Miami Heat at Quicken Loans Arena on a night unlike any other.
At forward, 6'8" from St. Vincent St. Mary High School, number 6, LeBron James.
It was a more hostile environment than any regular season game in recent NBA memory. LeBron goes out there and just gives a command performance.
Here's James on the move. Cash Williams, it counts on the foul.
That was one of the games that really got the Heat going, where you really saw the cohesiveness of this team.
Kicking it over to James, yes, and the foul.
We knew that this guy right here was very mature. It seemed like he always rise to the occasions when things look at his darkest for him.
LeBron exploded for 38 points while only playing 3 quarters, on way to one of the Heat's signature wins of the season.
For us to come in and have that bunker mentality that we had tonight and just focus on the game, to take care of business like we did was great.
What I saw was a group of people playing for their brothers, okay? But also at the same time playing, competing as brothers.
There's going to always be something said about us, win, lose, or draw. But as a family, we can't let anyone from the outside, break us apart. I don't have any hurt feelings about this game at all from these fans. I wish them the best.
The win in Cleveland charged the Heat to rack up 7 more victories, extending the win streak to 10 straight games.
Dwayne Wade, here he comes with LeBron. Oh my! Wade for Chalmers from the wing. Missed it. Oh my! Wade with an exclamation point on a one-handed stuff. LeBron against the long-armed Ariza. In trouble. Oh my!
From behind the backboard.
I think for the first time they were who they thought they were all along.
Off to the Gotham City to play in the world's most famous arena in search of the 11th consecutive victory.
We're striving for perfection right now. In New York, they're playing as at the highest level, as anybody in the league. So we understand it'll be a very challenging game.
It's the Heat and Knicks like it used to be and like it's never been.
Right now, with both teams playing well, the fans are going to make it a very big game. So I think this would be probably one of the biggest games, of the year.
They were not going to lose to that team that night. There was no way they were going to let New York have the upper hand.
This is Bosh on the move. A gorgeous reverse jam. He left Stoudemire in the dust. LeBron from downtown. Got it. LeBron James rising to the Big Apple Challenge.
LeBron delivered yet another impressive performance, scoring 32 points and finishing with his 30th career triple-double as the Heat picked up their 11th consecutive victory. On the second night of a back-to-back, as well as the 6th game in 9 nights, the Heat were clearly fatigued, which contributed to 17 turnovers and seemingly the end of the win streak.
Another careless turnover for Miami, and Flash with a throwdown.
The Heat trailed the Wizards for most of the second half, but the band of brothers never lost hope.
Here he comes!
Down by 5 with just over 30 seconds remaining, Coach Spoelstra called on number 1 for this one.
Bosh for 3. Oh boy! And Miami down by only 2.
After free throws from both sides, the Wizards remained in front, and the Heat would rely on free throw shooting to steal the game back. First, it was James Jones.
Oh, Mr. Cool, James Jones has evened the game at 93.
Then Wade.
Wade for the win. He'll go to the free throw line with 7.9 seconds to go.
With the clock running down, he hit both free throws, giving the Heat a 1-point lead.
Miami's up 1. Heinrich and the Wizards hurry it up. Heinrich all the way in. No good. Wade with a rebound. Ball game's over.
Oh, my.
Ball game's over. The win streak lives another night. 12 in a row for Miami.
How about those turn of events? The Heat down late in the game, making free throws, making steals.
One of the wildest games I've ever been a part of. Never gave up, kept executing down to the very last second.
Coming off the most successful stretch of the season, the Heat would take on Dallas at home, looking for their 13th straight W.
Wade gets the Anthony screen, drives in, and scores.
The Heat were rolling in the first half, so with under 4 minutes to play, Mike Miller, healed from injury, took the floor for the first time.
Mike Miller in the game for the first time as a member of the Miami Heat.
Standing ovation.
That was awesome. For me, a lot of things I've done, one of the best things that's ever happened to me, because here is a guy who's never done anything for this organization, and the excitement they showed when I checked in still gives me goosebumps.
The Heat started the third quarter on a 13-0 run and had a 5-point lead to start the fourth.
Bosh with a flip, it bounces in, and the foul. Chris Bosh to the rescue.
But Dallas took the lead halfway through the fourth quarter and never relinquished, snapping the win streak.
And Jason Terry strikes from downtown.
Bottom line is they made bigger plays down the stretch more consistently than we did.
After setting the Suns in Phoenix, it was time for holiday hoops in Los Angeles.
One of the most anticipated games of this NBA season.
This was the showdown with the 2-time defending champion Lakers on their home court. Christmas Day, national TV audience. Everybody was going to be watching.
Do not give them any life. No gifts. Go, 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 go!
We saw the big three leading the way. We saw the defense leading the offense, and that's the way this team has to win.
James hooks it in.
The thing about Staples Center was that place was silent. The Heat kind of took all the life out of LA.
Miami visiting Houston tonight can cap off a dominant December with a perfect 10-0 mark on the road.
You know, no team in the history of the NBA has ever won 10 straight games on the road in the same month.
5 on the shot clock. A steal for LeBron. Look out below. Oh my, LeBron with a crusher.
At the start of the fourth quarter, Rockets point guard Aaron Brooks fouled Wade hard, striking him in the face, drawing blood, igniting controlled rage.
The worst thing that you want to do is hit Dwayne and make him bleed. Once you make him bleed, it's over.
Here comes Wade. Got a step, got a score, and got another foul.
Wade ended up dropping a season-high 45 points on the Rockets.
So Wade took it away from Jordan Hill. Here he comes, weaving through the defense. What a play by Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I just get mad. I just want to share anything that's in front of me out the way. I'm angry still. You know, I know I got to get stitches, so I'm real mad right now.
The band of brothers gelled together to finish a brilliant month of December strong, going 15-1.
We have got to maintain poise and composure.
December also resulted in Spoelstra being named Eastern Conference Coach of the Month.
Spo was the calm in the eye of the storm. He understood that you had to coach this team a little bit differently than you would coach any other team. He let these guys know that winning a game just isn't enough. They're going to play Miami Heat basketball. They're going to embrace that culture that Pat Riley and Mickey Arison helped create.
LeBron motors across. Nice pass. Dwayne Wade hammers it home.
Also in December, two stars blinded the basketball world, wowing everyone.
Oh my!
Wade and LeBron James were awarded co-players of the month. While each of them were able to impact games at a high level, they also identified the trust needed to shine within the flow of the team, the fun foul.
We got co-player of the month. You know, we may see co-MVPs, but, you know, it's an honor. It's an honor that the NBA will give us such a prestigious award, and we're going to keep on continue to play like player of the month.
The Heat momentum continued, and everyone in Miami caught Heat fever. The Miami Heat mattered again to people, and rightfully so. A Heat fan or not, everyone wanted to see LeBron, Wade, Bosh, and the Heat come to town.
The first time we went to every city this year, it really was a circus. The Heat was an attraction. Everybody wanted to see this team.
Dwayne put it best where he said, yeah, they'll boo us, but they'll pay to boo us. And they did. Every arena they went to was sold out.
This team had established itself as, you know, we have such an identity on the road. We're going to go into a hostile environment, and we're going to face it, and we're going to thrive on it.
January started just like December ended, with wins. First over the Warriors.
Out on the wing, long shot, got it from downtown, James Jones.
Then a victory over the Bobcats.
Here's James on the move. Yes, and the foul.
Plus back-to-back wins over the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bosh again, head and shoulders fake, and an emphatic finish. Another opponent feels the wrath of Miami's talented trio.
When we feel like we're against all odds, up against the world, you know, in hostile environments, that piques their concentration to another level. What it's done for us is it has brought us closer, and that spirit has been great on the road. Band of brothers.
Winners of 20 out of 21, the Heat notched another victory against the Trailblazers in overtime, despite a 7-point deficit with under 2 minutes to play.
LeBron for three. Yes! LeBron James, you are amazing! The Road Warriors have done it. The winning streak survives. 13 consecutive road wins for Miami, and the Heat, for the first time this year, have moved into first place in the Eastern Conference ahead of the Boston Celtics.
Heading into Los Angeles to face the Clippers. The Heat seem to be flying high until one of the most improbable sequences happen.
Just under 7 minutes to play. LeBron gets a step. Aminu got his hand on the ball, and LeBron may have sprained his ankle. He goes hopping into the stands. And LeBron is shaken up. Oh, he's hurting.
Let's see if he can work this out.
shoots a three. Oh, do you believe that? With a sprained ankle, LeBron James buries a triple and then hobbles down the sideline. What an extraordinary athlete and player LeBron James is. But now, how serious is that ankle sprain?
LeBron fought the pain and still produced, but the Clippers ended the Heat's 13-game road win streak. The next night, a mile high and sleep-deprived, the Heat faced Denver, a major man down. But the Nuggets were just too much for a road-weary Heat team.
Worst defeat this season for Miami. Most points the Heat allow, and the most three-pointers they allow as well.
Traveling east from the west, the Heat found themselves still singing the blues in Chicago.
Bosh went to the floor, and Bosh went down hard, and now he's hurt.
When you didn't have LeBron, then obviously the storm turned. And then Chris getting hurt late in the second half of that Chicago game, it was all on Dwayne.
The Heat down 2. Wade fakes a three, now takes it, and scored! Wade has hit 3 triples in a row!
He ended up with 33 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 blocks. But even that wasn't enough to defeat Derrick Rose and the Bulls.
Even in a loss, to put that entire Heat team on his back, for him to do that, it was great theater. It just wasn't the perfect ending.
The Heat back home tonight after a 5-game road trip facing the Atlanta Hawks and hoping to stop that 3-game losing streak.
There is truly no place like home. The Heat returned to Miami to play in front of their fans. LeBron was back on the ball as he displayed a strong comeback performance against the Atlanta Hawks.
That's more like it. LeBron forcing his way to the basket.
LeBron ended up with 34 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals, but the Hawks ended up grabbing the win in overtime. In the midst of a 4-game losing streak, the Heat faced the Raptors. The injury bug kept biting. Now Wade was out due to migraines, but Mike Miller filled the void with a season-high 32 points.
You know, Dwayne is out and Chris Bosh is out, and you knew that they could count on LeBron, but who else?
Now to Miller, 3 on the way. Miller's got it from downtown.
This team was waiting for the breakout Mike Miller moment. In that second quarter, they were looking for Mike Miller.
He set a franchise record with 22 points in the second quarter to help give the Heat the boost they needed.
Miller, nice step around. Miller pulls up the jumper, got it on the wing. Oh my, Miller is absolutely hot.
Like there was a timeout midway through the second, you were really having it going, and LeBron sort of met you at midcourt, gave you a couple of slaps and said something to you. Do you remember what he said?
Well, he told me to be aggressive before the game. You know, that's really the first time that he said something to me. He told me he have it loaded tonight, ready to go, and you know, and basically just said, way to shoot it, welcome back, let's have some fun.
Mike Miller's hot hand helped snap the Heat's 4-game losing streak by beating the Raptors. Wade was back playing through intense migraines against the Knicks and wearing goggles to try to ease the pain.
If you remember, he ended up coming out scorching in that game. And again, it gets back to that issue where wherever Dwayne seems to be challenged physically in some way, he ends up playing better.
Even with goggles, Wade led the Heat for 3 quarters.
Continue to trust each other down there. It's a great play. Okay? Trust each other.
In the fourth, the Heat led the majority of the quarter, but with 15 seconds left, the Heat found themselves trailing by 3. Chalmers missed the last attempt to tie, and the Knicks were victorious. Detroit came to Miami the next night as Wade sat out with wrist pain. Bosh missed his 4th game in a row, and Miller fought his way through an injury, limping during the 42 minutes he played.
Mike Miller, 10th rebound, and then the long outlet for LeBron's dunk.
Oh, perfect pass, and he's limping back there.
Whether he's got an ankle injury, he's limping around the court, if it's at all possible, he's going to be out there playing, and he's always going to be hustling. When you see Mike Miller out there doing that, I think that inspires the other players.
House displayed his inspiration by hitting a key jumper to put the Heat up 3 with 2 minutes to go.
Now House out on the wing, the jumper. Got it, House! Oh, he has been clutch.
You were in that spot and he gave the ball up. What's that say about the trust that's in this room?
It means everybody depends on everybody, you know. And we believe in each other, so, you know, you don't have a play, you try to make a play for somebody else, make it easier for your teammates. And at the end, that's what happened.
On national TV, it was a reminiscent return for the Heat's trio in Oklahoma City game, and their presence was felt.
LeBron over the top to Dwayne Wade for the dunk.
For the 16th time, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh would score at least 75 points, but the Heat would need more.
Kept alive by Miller. James didn't take it. Eddie House takes the three and takes the lead.
The Heat headed up north to face their Sunshine State rivals. LeBron elevated his game and registered a historical performance.
James for three. Yes! LeBron James from downtown. An entertaining game, a surprising comeback. 51 points for LeBron James. That's the high this season in the league.
LeBron's 51 points were the third most in team history as the Heat won by 4. The Heat were back in Boston the day before Valentine's Day, and Cupid was not invited as the Heat were smothered by the Celtics again. The Heat bounced back in Indiana in convincing fashion.
Dwayne Wade has the rebound. Long hit for LeBron. What a play! What an amazing connection.
Yeah, his middle name is Dan Marino.
With the All-Star break on the horizon, Bosh made his first return to Toronto.
From Georgia Tech, a 6'11" forward, number 1, Chris Bosh.
At the start of the night, Bosh's former fans did not extend a warm welcome.
Bottoms up for Chris Bosh.
By night's end, the Heat forward pushed through the emotional homecoming and led the Heat to a sentimental victory.
Here's Bosh for the takeoff and slam.
You fatigued everybody in here with all your scoring. They were healthy boos. They got quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, I like that. I love boos. The whole stadium that booed me, I love it.
We're happy to get this one for Chris. Guys definitely wanted to band together and win it for him. And now we have the break. We're getting better, and the last third of the season hopefully will be our best.
A heat wave hit Los Angeles for the 60th All-Star Weekend. It was all about the Heat, who for the first time in franchise history had 4 players represent the organization.
I'm a big fan of yours, LeBron.
Oh, yeah? There were people that called this team Team Hollywood starting on July 8th. So how fitting was it that Team Hollywood took Hollywood by storm? Chris, Dwayne, LeBron savored the moment out there being together. And I think the moment they savored maybe most of all was watching their guy, watching James Jones take down not one but 2 Celtics.
He's knocked down all 3 of his money balls. Ty Pierce, he's past Pierce. James Jones is going to be the Foot Locker 3-point champion.
You know, being a Miami kid, you know, I would never have imagined this as a kid, you know, being entrenched in Miami Heat history for the rest of my life. So I said this is a speechless moment for me because it's a dream realized.
It was always like a dream come true to play with, you know, so many great players, and especially the greatest players in the game.
It was a great experience for the Heat fan. You saw the big 3 were all in the All-Star game.
Oh, there is Bosh. James, I'll put a move on Paul. James all the way.
Wow. Starting out with the Miami duo take over here offensively.
LeBron on the move. Oh, and he puts it down.
With 26 games remaining in the season, the Heat and Celtics were neck and neck for first in the Eastern Conference. The Heat were facing the toughest stretch on their schedule, starting with a meeting against MVP-to-be Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls.
James, that motor is shifted into gear, taking it right to the rim.
The Heat got off to a fast start behind Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. They took a 9-point lead into the halftime break.
Chalmers and the kid at the other end.
Do not take a foot off the pedal in terms of our activity. We have got to be the more active and athletic team in the second half.
In the third quarter, the Bulls' defense cooled the Heat's earlier exploits. Chicago would take advantage, outscoring the Heat by 13.
Rose into Wade. What a play by Rose.
They're making a run. We've got to do it with our energy.
The Heat followed Coach Spoelstra's instructions to start the fourth, putting them in front by 4.
Wade takes it in.
The Bulls made a late charge to tie the game, and Luol Deng secured the win.
Deng for 3. Right between the eyes.
The Heat headed home for the second night of a back-to-back. After beating Washington, they faced the new-look Knicks.
You can feel the excitement and the tension in the air, Eric. This is going to be a great game tonight.
Behind the back escape for LeBron.
Here it comes, baby. Oh! You could see it coming as soon as LeBron passed it to Wade.
They're up 15 at one point, and then the Knicks are making every three, and all of a sudden what looked like a Heat runaway turns into a street fight.
Down to 8 on the shot clock, a long three. Got it from downtown.
The Knicks lead it by 1. Mr. Big Shot has done it again.
The game came down to a final shot. For the second time in 4 nights, LeBron had the ball.
Drives on Carmelo. Blocked by Stoudemire. Amare Stoudemire with a defensive play. The game-winning play for New York.
A shakeup could be in the works for the Heat. Tonight, sources say that veteran point guard Mike Bibby is headed to Miami.
You know, I mean, I thought this would be the best place for me, you know, as far as winning, and I've won and lost in my career, and, you know, I'm at a stage where I want to be happy.
Midway through the first against the Magic, Mike Bibby made his Heat debut, and he wasted little time getting comfortable.
Mike Bibby making his first three-pointer in a Heat uniform.
Heat up 24, and all of a sudden the whole night switched on them. And Orlando started hitting every shot.
Look at that open space for Quentin Richardson. Richardson open 3.
Yep.
Look out, trouble is coming to Miami.
The unbelievable happened in that you realize double-digit leads evaporate in the NBA, but not like this one.
This is a nightmare for Miami. The Heat have given up 15 triples.
Even with the Magic's unbelievable 40-9 run, the Heat had a chance to tie the game late.
Mike Miller inbounds. Bosch left alone up top for 3. Missed rebound. LeBron, another chance 3. He misses. The collapse is official. Miami blows a 24-point lead. What a huge victory for the Magic as they embarrass the Heat at home.
We continue to get big leads and we continue to falter. I don't think it's the execution because we're getting some great looks. We're just not making them, and then teams are making shots against us.
If you want to win a championship, you want to be a championship team, you have to win games like this.
The very next night, the Heat were back on the road facing the best in the West.
Ginobili pull-up 3. Oh, my.
The Spurs were raining threes, connecting on 60% from behind the arc.
Bonner for 3. Oh, my. Matt Bonner, 5 of 6 from downtown.
That game was just an absolute disaster. And the second night of a back-to-back, and so you knew it was going to be a tough game. But getting blown out by 30 points and never having been in the game, it was another time where it looked like this thing could come unraveling.
Currently, the Heat in its toughest stretch of the season. You know, teams are supposed to be playing their best ball of the season in March and April. Miami clearly isn't.
Having lost 3 in a row, the Heat fell to 3rd place in the Eastern Conference behind Chicago and Boston. Awaiting the Heat at the start of their 6-game homestand were the Surging Bulls, who beat the Heat in 2 prior meetings.
Heat is at home, and it's a big game. You know, coming off the losses, this is a game that they really need, and the Heat actually put on a pretty good performance.
Probing up top, LeBron out to Jones. 3 on the way. Got it, James Jones.
The Heat came out strong in the first half. LeBron and Bosch led the way with 18 each, giving the Heat the halftime lead, which excited the home crowd on Noche Latina, the NBA league-wide celebration of Hispanic heritage.
Arriba LeBron, arriba a Chalmers, abierto para el empate, el triple, en cesta, empata el partido con 1 minuto 5 segundos para jugar.
That Chalmers three-pointer late in the fourth charged the Heat, and he followed it up with this.
Chalmers going to go right to the basket, layup and in. Oh, it parted like the Red Sea.
Chalmers making back-to-back huge buckets.
With 17 seconds left, Deng was fouled going to the basket, putting him on the line with an opportunity to tie the game. He only made 1 of 2, but was fouled by Mike Miller on the rebound.
Oh my! And a chance for the Bulls to take the lead. What else can go wrong for Miami?
Once again, the Heat would have a chance to win the game on the final possession.
James on Noah, James to the left, James shot no good. Rebound is loose, kept alive by Wade for the win. No, the Miami Heat don't close again. And the Chicago Bulls have swept the Heat 3 games this year.
All of a sudden, the Bulls walk out of here with a win that just continue to stretch, where you're wondering, okay, who are the Heat?
I put a lot of blame on myself tonight on, telling the guys that, I just keep fouling them late in games, and I won't continue to do that.
This is painful. This hurts. We're competitors. We're winners. We're human. We'll move on and try to learn from it.
What you hope is that the pain of a game like this resonates enough to make a change.
Inside our locker room, we stick together. We're brothers. We win together, we lose together.
The only way to rise up was to end their 4-game slide. To do that, the Heat would have to overcome a Trailblazers team playing some of its best basketball. Wade and LeBron led the charge.
Dwayne Wade with a block on Brandon Roy. He took that one right away. And all the way.
Oh, my. We talked about D-Wade's energy at both ends of the floor.
Now LeBron, right side, LeBron. Oh, what a crossover and hit the jumper. I'm sorry, Mr. Batum. Ankles on special.
While Bosh struggled offensively, the Trailblazers enjoyed balanced scoring with 6 players in double figures.
Here's Aldridge from 20. Bottoms up for LaMarcus Aldridge.
The Blazers continued their winning streak, handing the Heat their 5th straight loss, a season worse.
Every team goes through adversity throughout the course of a season, and ours is happening right now.
The only thing we can do is to keep on grinding and not let go of the rope.
I just have to be more aggressive in demanding it in my comfort zone. Then I can start helping out this team.
The fact Bosh had 7 points and he comes out afterwards and says he wants the ball more, I thought that was a great thing.
I need to be assertive in demanding. I have to, just have to be my normal self, because I'm really not there right now.
The one great thing about this team is they're mature, they're professional, and they realize, okay, let's speak the truth. Let's speak how we feel.
We're all being measured. We will reveal a lot about ourselves as we move forward.
They rallied around that critical time. All that mattered to them was the guys in the room.
It's frustrating. It seemed like the most frustrating time, in your career, but I'm sure we can look back and say, what, that was frustrating too. We found a way eventually to come out of it and be stronger from it.
Another tough test for Miami with the Lakers in town.
Enough is enough, huh? The Heat certainly have struggled big time lately. They certainly should be hungry for a wake-up call tonight against the defending champ Los Angeles Lakers.
You had the losing streak, and you had the national TV audience, and you had the home crowd. It was just one of those games where if they lose this one, I don't know what's going to happen here.
With doubt swirling, the Heat proved early this night could be different.
LeBron going to drive. LeBron inside, puts it up, got it right at the buzzer. LeBron James. Whoa, what a finish in the period for James.
You saw them dig in deep and protect their home court, and I thought this was a landmark game for Chris Bosh.
Bosh, two-hand jam inside Chris Bosh.
Bosh scored 12 points in the second quarter alone and finished the half with a team-high 16 points.
Chris did a great job of being in attack mode, shooting the jumpers when he had it, but being aggressive when he got the ball.
We had everything riding on this game, really, to be honest with you, and everybody wanted to win.
The desire continued in the second half with both teams trying to pull away, to no avail, enduring 12 lead changes. Just under 5 minutes to play, the game was tied.
Wade able to penetrate. Beautiful move by Dwayne Wade.
Wade put the Heat up by 2, but Kobe answered.
Now to Kobe. 3 to tie it. Got it from downtown. Oh, ice water in the Black Mamba thing.
However, the Lakers didn't score again.
Kobe against Dwayne Wade. Will he jack up another 3?
Here comes Kobe. Wade back to the side. Wade chased by Fisher. Finds Jack.
LeBron James.
The Heat held on to beat the Lakers, ending their losing streak, once again establishing late-game success.
We knew this was going to be a competitive game that was going to go down to the wire. We prepared ourselves, and we just came out and we just played hard.
Bosh was instrumental in the win, ending the night with a team-high 24 points.
He was very aggressive. He had a terrific mindset, really set the tone for everybody.
When you ask for the ball, you get it, you got to do something with it. And Chris did. He came out very aggressive.
The Heat wanted to avenge the excruciating loss in Memphis from back in November. What better way to do that than focus on their identity, defense.
Wade chased him down, forced the miss, and LeBron forces Sam Young into the miss. Wade with a block on Tony Allen. What a segment of defense.
We want to come out and establish our defensive aggressiveness, really not give up paint points and make it tough on them.
And Wade did that on both ends, putting up 28 points, 5 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 9 assists. Not since Michael Jordan in 1988 had a guard put up such numbers in a single game.
Nice move. Dwayne Wade, the basket and the foul. That's artwork.
The Heat won by 33, their largest margin of victory since 2009.
My philosophy right now, do not let go of this rope. It's the same thing. We got to keep on moving forward.
Next up, the Spurs, the final Noche Latina celebration. Yet another night of possible redemption after an embarrassing loss 10 days earlier in San Antonio.
We know what they did to us last time. And, you know, we wanted to just continue to keep the momentum, you know, as we had the last few games.
Now Miller pick and roll. Joel in two-hand jam.
This was a game where the Heat just came out determined.
When it's going, and there he goes again.
This is where the Heat started to get more and more confidence how it could play against big teams.
Abajo Blair busca clavar la etapa, Bosh consigue el Miami Heat. Al ataque Wade a media cancha, Wade por la izquierda, LeBron la clava. Un machetazo nuclear aquí por parte señor LeBron James.
It's huge for us, really just getting even with this team. They beat us pretty good, and I'm happy that we were able to respond.
And respond they did with a 30-point victory. Off to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. LeBron was unreal, more so in the third quarter when he scored 23 points as he was locked in from long range.
LeBron's three is on the money.
When it looked like he was playing one-on-none out there, no matter who the Hawks threw in front of him, it didn't seem to matter.
LeBron for three. He put down a showdown.
LeBron eclipsed a major milestone that night, becoming the youngest player to tally 17,000 points as he guided the Heat to their 47th win of the season. After 3 more wins, the Heat continued their playoff push, facing the Rockets in what would be a game with historical implications.
LeBron, right-hand jam right down the guts. Nice spin by Dwayne. Tipped in by Bosh. Wade for three. Yes! Oh,
Wade, LeBron, and Bosh all scored 30 points with 10 rebounds. It was the first time players on the same team had those numbers in regulation since 1961.
The Heat's big three have never played bigger. They burned the Houston Rockets with a record-setting show.
Not only did they all have the 30 points, but they all had 10-plus rebounds. That showed you that it was more than just about scoring in that game.
It's a true testament to the reason we all came together, to continue to show that we can play together, continue to make history.
We're trying to accomplish the goal, the major goal of winning a championship, but, sometimes you can enjoy the little things in between.
To know the history of the game and to know how many great players have come through this league, to have 3 teammates have 30 and 10, I think it's unbelievable.
The Heat traveled to New Jersey in early April to face a team that was hungry for a win, while the Heat were in their own fight for the #2 seed in the East.
The Heat have won 10 of their last 12 games, and Friday night moved into second place in the East, Tony. They're a half game ahead of Boston, and they hope to stay there with 6 games left in the regular season.
The Heat dominated early.
LeBron on the spin. Oh, my. Put that on your highlight reels and enjoy it.
With 10 points and a game-high 14 rebounds, Eric Dampier put his stamp on the game, giving the Heat exactly what they need, a win.
Not really about scoring a lot of points. It's just mostly about trying to help us win games.
For the first time in 5 years, the Heat can call themselves division champs. They wrap up the Southeast Division crown by winning in New Jersey.
A week and 2 wins later, the Heat hosted Boston in their final home game.
The Boston Celtics are coming to town. The Heat will try to get a jump on the 2nd seed.
The winner will have the upper hand and home court advantage if they meet in the playoffs.
Well, this was a huge game in a regular season context for the Heat. They lost 3 games to Boston, and it was time to see if they could stand up in a way that they'd been talking about they couldn't.
The game started off the same as the previous three. The Celtics shots were going in, and the Heat were playing from behind again.
Garnett throws it up and throws it in. A three-pointer for Kevin Garnett.
We need base hits right now. We do not need home runs to take us to the win.
With a clear message, the Heat was able to fight back, taking a 7-point lead heading into the half.
Hard-fought, intense, playing with passion. These two teams really competing.
It was a playoff atmosphere type of game from the fans to both teams' approach, you know, to what the game meant.
Nobody wanted to lose, and we know what we're playing for.
Bosh now on the drive. Count it and a foul.
Defense took over in the second half, and Wade led the charge.
Oh, what a block from Wade!
But the bench play was what seemed to help the Heat most.
Chalmers left corner three. Got it.
I think when our bench plays well, pretty good team. Pretty good team, and it's hard to beat us.
James spinning. Nice pass. Anthony the finish.
LeBron was the top performer, finishing the night with 27 points, guiding the Heat to their most satisfying victory of the regular season.
And the Heat get the victory and now have that one-game lead for that second seed in the Eastern Conference, and they finally break through and beat the Celtics after 3 losses.
I think today we proved that we're a much better team in this game than we was in the previous 3.
We're not done. It would mean nothing to take care of this game for us not to finish off the next 2.
The first of which was against the Hawks. The Heat were in Atlanta the very next night.
This will be a tough finish, going all the way down to the stretch.
And that it was. The game was tied with under 4 minutes to go until James Jones stepped in and stepped up.
Here's a 3 for James Jones. Kaboom! And a foul!
How many times does James Jones shoot a 3 and get fouled on the play? It's amazing.
James Jones for 3. Kaboom!
Oh, baby.
Back-to-back fourth-quarter triples for James Jones.
He has ice in his veins. When he's needed in the fourth quarter, he's proven that he'll hit big shots.
Wade, Bosh, and LeBron combined for 70 points, and the Heat held on to beat the Hawks.
The fact that they beat Boston at home and then they went out the next night and won in Atlanta, that means the Heat are making progressively bigger steps going into the playoffs.
The win, coupled with the Celtics' loss, helped the Heat clinch the second seed in the playoffs.
The Heat wrap up the regular season tonight in Toronto, but with the second seed in the East all locked up, don't expect to see the headliners on the floor for very long.
The Heat's second unit was called upon to play the final regular season game, which held home court implications for the NBA Finals.
We still have an opportunity to do 2 things, to get better, and we still have an opportunity to play for something.
The Heat got great performances out of Eddie House and Jamal McGlory. House finished the night with 35 points, including 7 of 13 from three-point range.
House for 3. Kaboom!
2 more coming, or 3 maybe.
House did it again! A major kaboom for Eddie House!
And the native Canadian had a game-high 19 rebounds, the most for a Heat player in the season, and the Heat beat the Raptors in convincing fashion, winning their final 15 out of 18 games.
You're seeing this team play its best basketball of the season. And that's the important thing, is that they're going into the playoffs with a lot of confidence.
There were certain situations this year where the team certainly could have fractured, but they get to the end of this finish line of the regular season and they're in position to do something. That was really the goal when the season started.
Heading into the playoffs, the band of brothers set their sights on the biggest prize of all.
The Celtics have done it, and they defeat the Heat 4-1. The season is over for Miami.
This will be my last first-round exit for a while. I'll tell you that.
Going into the playoffs, yeah, Dwayne did have this mentality coming from last season that I'm not going to lose in the first round. And I think the whole team had a, we've got something to prove mentality.
1, 2, 3, together. We're very excited. That's all we've been talking about the last couple of days. It's going to be different, knowing who you have beside you.
Let's just tip the ball up tomorrow afternoon. I think both teams are ready to get after this.
The city of Miami transformed into playoff mode to kick off White Hot Heat Week.
Let's go, Miami Heat!
Meanwhile, inside American Airlines Arena, employees worked tirelessly, covering nearly 20,000 seats to transform the arena into a sea of white.
It is a white-hot craze. Fans who have been here to support this team and fans who are going to support them all the way through to the end.
It's the Eastern Conference quarterfinals best of 7, game 1 here this afternoon as your Miami Heat play host to the Philadelphia 76ers.
First of many, first of 16.
In the first quarter, the Heat came out tough, but the Sixers kept them honest. Their speed and playmaking ability gave them an early lead.
Well, they came out very aggressive, made a lot of shots, but they was reading us very well.
The Heat switched to zone defense in the second quarter, slowing the Sixers down, gaining control of the game.
Nice block from Anthony.
In the third quarter, Chris Bosh took center stage.
LeBron hands it off. Bosh, little 15-footer, got it on the wing.
We saw a very aggressive, athletic, agile Chris Bosh, both on the boards, scoring inside, scoring outside with that, soft jumper that he has. And Philly just didn't have anybody who could match up against him.
Inside, Bosh, two-hand jab, right down the gut.
The Heat had a 16-point lead and seemed to be in full control heading into the fourth.
Chalmers to the basket. Out to Jones for three. Bang! Big bucket for the Miami Heat.
The Sixers didn't give up. They climbed back into the game, scoring 12 straight points, and were down by 1 with under 3 minutes to play. Dwayne Wade's last shot was right on time.
Wade drives, runner, banks it in, and a foul. Sensational move from Dwayne Wade.
It's just about getting a win. This time of the year, the only number that matters right now is 1-0.
We got to match their energy. We got to match their motor. It's a very athletic, fast team, and we got to come out with a sense of urgency to start.
While the Heat prepared for Game 2, Wade was not well. The same migraines he dealt with during the regular season were back.
Dwayne Wade will play tonight. The question is, how effective will he be dealing with those migraines?
Whether it's physically or with a headache or with an injury or anything like that, Dwayne usually responds.
Wade on the run, running by everyone down the floor. Oh, and a right-hand jam by Wade, coast to coast.
Wade fought through his migraines, scoring 10 of his 14 points in the first half.
Back to Wade on the wing. Wade's driving baseline, got fouled, and got it up and in. Dwayne Wade.
Unlike in Game 1, the Heat wasted little time and played efficiently from the start.
Rio right down the gut, handed inside. Bosh, two-hand jam. What a nice speed Rio to Bosh.
Even more impressive, the defense held the Sixers to 26% shooting, a record low for a Heat playoff opponent.
That is shot met by Joel. The hook shot is deterred by Joel, and then he blocked the shot. What a segment for Anthony. Here's LeBron. Oh my! Up in the sky. He came crashing down.
That's the play of the playoffs so far for the Heat.
Anthony was the Heat's leader on defense, pulling down 6 rebounds and sending back 3 shots off the bench.
Young drives inside, blocked there by Joel Anthony.
We see him out there providing the energy. I think Joel has really kind of established himself as a key part of this team in the playoffs.
Bosh also contributed, recorded his second straight double-double with 21 points and 11 rebounds.
Back to the James to Bosh. Bosh up with it, got it and foul. Oh, what a strong finish by Chris Bosh.
The Heat never trailed and easily grabbed the series lead over the Sixers.
The Heat will go up 2-0 in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal series, and that will be the ballgame.
An NBA playoff series doesn't start until somebody wins on the road.
Nobody in the NBA has a better road record than the Miami Heat.
It's just a different feeling with this team when you're on the road. We're against all odds. We react in a different way.
They're going to play with a lot of grit, with a lot of heart. It's not going to be like Game 2. This is going to be a grind-out game.
1, 2, 3, Heat!
Live from the Wells Fargo Center in the city of brotherly love, the Philadelphia 76ers play host to your Miami Heat.
Let's go Heat! Let's go Heat!
The Sixers' energy controlled the start of Game 3. But once again, the Heat were able to sustain the quick start with the help of Wade, who scored 18 first-half points, keeping the Heat close.
Long pass down the floor to Wade. Wade up with an easy layup and foul. Dwayne Wade.
He had it going. He was creating for other guys on the team. He was making just the right plays all night.
Nice pass by Dwayne. Jones is 3. Yes, sir!
They continued to play from behind in the third quarter, but then greatness resurfaced.
LeBron behind the back of LeBron. To Wade! And a two-hand jam! What a play by LeBron as he stumbled, fumbled, bumbled, and found Wade at the rim.
It was a hell of a play. I know he stumbled, but once he grabbed, I knew he was going to make one of them LeBron no-look passes.
Me and D-Wade on the break together. There's not too many teams that can stop us when we get a full head of steam.
The Heat finally broke through in the fourth quarter and never looked back.
LeBron, a long shot. Missed the follow-up. Oh! Flying through the air with a right-hand jam Wade.
It was a gutsy win. It was not pretty, it was not clean, but we found a way, and that's the most important thing.
Game 3 is a wrap. Game 4 on Sunday. We're looking to close them out, man.
Dominate, 1, 2, 3, dominate!
On the brink of elimination, the 76ers came out strong, jetting to a 15-point lead. However, the Heat's defense created fast break opportunities, which balanced the game. The Heat had a 6-point lead with under 2 minutes to play, but the Sixers were not ready to go home.
Holiday looking for something early. They will take the 3 and make the 3! 10 seconds to go. Doug wants him to shoot. Williams for 3 in the lead.
That did send kind of a wake-up call to the Heat that Philly is not going to go out easy. This is going to be a tough closeout.
We will learn from this and get better. I mean, it's only going to make us stronger. Give credit to Philly, for not giving up, for coming out here and doing their job. But, we take it back to Miami and try to close things out.
Back to the American Airlines Arena for a critical Game 5.
Game 5 was kind of an anxious time for the Heat. I mean, they had just blown Game 4. They were back at home. They didn't want to give Philadelphia any more life. They didn't want to extend the series.
We're at home. We're going to have that energy behind us. So we just have to come out and have that desperate sense of urgency.
Chalmers will bring it back. That's plenty of time. Oh, they're going to give him a free shot, and he buries it from downtown.
The energy was provided from Chalmers, who hit 6 from long range.
20 points off the bench is amazing in 30 minutes. He did what we, continue to keep telling the guys to keep shooting.
I just got to get that to my teammates. I mean, they looked for me tonight. They had confidence within me. I was just able to knock them down.
The Heat was in front by 10 with 8 minutes to go. A basketball eternity.
Wade, heat check 3, got it from downtown.
But the Sixers chipped away at the lead and got within 1 with under 30 seconds on the clock.
Chalmers drives into the lane. Joel fouled, and it doesn't go in, but that'll put him on the line.
Joel got fouled, and he went up there and just calmly hit the 2 free throws.
Joel puts it up here. Miami by 3. 94-91, 16.8 left.
The Sixers were unable to answer, and Wade sealed the win in the series with the final play.
The Miami Heat's Wade at the buzzer, puts it in, and that will be the ball game. The Miami Heat will advance the host Boston in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
We're still on our journey, and we know that we have a long way to go, and the reward is a battle with Boston.
Just always felt that at some point we would have to go through Boston and play Boston to get what we want to get.
We're ready to play. We know this team know us, so we're ready to get a world what they're waiting for. A grueling series, a great series.
It's finally here, game number 1, the meeting everyone was wondering if it would happen as your Miami Heat play host to the Boston Celtics.
This was the showdown. You had these two teams that were building to face each other.
Rondo goes in, Rondo swatted away by LeBron.
The way the Heat came out and the way that Dwayne played, just so good and just so dominant, it was hard to match it.
The Heat set the tone early, and Wade was the reason why. But it was James Jones who provided a huge spark with 5 threes off the bench.
Jones, another 3 attempt. Got another one! Back-to-back from downtown from JJ.
tried to focus in this week because I knew Boston, they're going to try to take our big three away, and someone would have to step up. I got some good looks, and I was able to knock them down because I know that these guys trust me in the big moments.
Boston kind of took a look at itself, and it tried to bully the Heat, and it realized it couldn't do that, and Boston got frustrated.
And we got some pushing and shoving, and Paul Pierce is thrown out of the ball game.
They're going to try to do everything besides basketball to get us out our head while playing the game. Just beat them in basketball.
That is exactly the kind of stuff that the Celtics do. Someone beat them at their own game, and they recognized it.
Wade, inside James, oh, with a two-hand jam on an alley-oop. The Heat win game one, 99-90.
They're great for a reason, and we're going to have to fight for every, inch. Every game we get, right now, we won game one.
The Heat, of course, won their game one, hope to duplicate that, but they know that these crafty Boston Celtics have a history of bouncing back.
Before Game 2, Heat fans sang the anthem as one in celebration of a major victory in the war on terror.
It's Game 2, the Eastern Conference semifinal.
That was a game where, you were wondering how Boston was going to respond. You were wondering if the Heat was going to relax a little bit, but there was no let-up in the Heat. You saw the defense out there.
There's O'Neal, blocked by Joel.
LeBron with a vicious block.
That's just good defense, Miami.
The Heat's dominant defense held Boston's big three to only 36 points.
They were terrific and used every bit of their talent tonight to help us win.
Wade, stutter step, drives in, lays it in. Gorgeous move and the foul.
LeBron James led all scorers with 35 points, 13 coming in the third quarter. That put the Heat ahead for good and the Celtics down 2 games to none.
LeBron was transcendent. He was exactly the player that everybody thought he would be.
Out to James on the run. James spins inside. Two-hand jam. Ran right through Rondo.
The series is far away from over. It's really just beginning for us. We did what we wanted to do, and that was protect home court.
The Miami Heat now have a 2-0 series lead against the Siege when it really counts, the postseason.
It's still going to be a hostile environment, and this is a team that's still dangerous. We got to find a way to go up here into a place that I haven't won in a long time and try to figure out a way to get this game.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Game 3 was a game where it kind of put everybody a little bit on edge.
Rondo into the lane, off to Garnett, angle right. Garnett's been on fire, hitting another one.
The Heat had no answer for Boston's blazing start, nor Paul Pierce's hot hand in Game 3.
Paul set the tone for our entire team with the force that he played with. I thought that was a great message for the entire team.
They came out and played extremely hard. They played harder than us, and they played more efficiently than us.
Along with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett issued his best performance of the series. But the focus changed after this horrific injury for Rajon Rondo.
When I saw it, I said, well, their season's over because they can't win without Rondo.
There was no way you thought the guy was coming back. And he comes back out there and he's playing with one arm. That was a really motivating factor for Boston.
Rondo with the steal. That time he used his left hand and throws it down.
Regardless of what happened, I felt my shot wasn't going, but I thought I could try to keep the game or change the game's momentum by getting to the ball defensively.
Rondo's improbable return energized the Celtics. They recorded their first victory, narrowing the gap in the series to 1.
Right now, while we still have control of the series, our job is to get one in here.
We can't continue to go out and be in a 10-point deficit, to start games. We got to come out and play.
In an intense Game 4, Boston shot 58% in the first half, but the Heat kept the game close, thanks in large part to LeBron.
James with the steal and buckle up for LeBron. Oh!
Second half success was determined by withstanding runs and attempting to land the last punch.
Into the corner, Allen for 3, got it! Allen from downtown, Boston by 3.
Shot clock at 4. Big time triple. We are in a shootout, my friend. James. LeBron with 33 points. He puts his Heat on top by 2 with 48 seconds to play.
We needed every bit of his talent and competitive will with the trust on both ends tonight.
Pierce tied the game at 86, but wanted more.
Pierce with 2, puts it up, no good, overtime.
The next 5 minutes were the most pivotal moments of the series.
Shot clock down to 8. Wade, step back. Wade, a tough three. Got it! Oh my, Wade!
The Heat's trio scored 83 points to silence the crowd and seal the overtime victory.
Off the rim, Bosh tip in with the left hand. Chris Bosh.
We need 12 rebounds from Chris. He got 12 rebounds, and he got the biggest rebound of the game. You know, really stepped up to the challenge.
Miami is going to take a 3-1 lead and command of this series.
To finally win in Boston, something that Miami hadn't done in a long time. It might have been the biggest breakthrough win of the season for that Heat team.
What we're going to face on Wednesday will be our greatest challenge, to put away a champion.
Let's go Heat!
It's Game 5. We're going to beat Boston.
Tonight, a pretty simple message. Beat Boston.
You know, they're going to come in and give us their best shot, and we're trying to, you know, protect the home floor and close it out.
A good team like this, they're never gone. They're going to keep competing, and it's not over until the last game is won.
High left side, Allen, the long shot, got it from downtown, and he is the killer for Miami.
In Game 5, the Celtics led through 3 quarters, but the Heat went on a 16-0 run, ignited by James Jones.
Got it! James Jones hits a tree. Bosh takes it inside. Two-hand jam, Bosh ties it at 87.
LeBron took over from there with an unforgettable fourth-quarter performance.
Wade to LeBron. A long shot. James from downtown hits the tray, and the Heat with their largest lead of the night.
Guarded by Pierce, 4 to shoot. He'll take the 3 and make it. Oh my goodness!
He nails another 3, and the Heat lead by 6 with 40 seconds left in this game.
We needed all of his talent as a two-way player to be an MVP that he's been. But down the stretch, that's what greatness is all about.
That pass intercepted by LeBron. Steal. LeBron, two-hand jam on the steal. LeBron James. LeBron James with 8 points in a row.
The Miami Heat's a better basketball team, and LeBron can smell it.
Miami is going to close it out.
The Heat win at 97-87. What a performance by LeBron James.
What a moment here in Miami. Jubilation for the Heat. And Miami advances to the Eastern Conference Finals.
We would have went through this playoff and not being able to play Boston. I mean, at any point, it wouldn't have been right. You know, we're trying to get to where they at.
You have to give a great deal of credit to Boston. And it took a 5.5-month season to get to this point, to exercise this demon for a lot of us.
You know, it's a great feeling because you work all season for moments like this, and you know, I'm just happy with the fact that the coaching staff trusted me to be able to step right in.
For me, it's special. This isn't something that I could have scripted or ever imagined. This is something special that I'm going to cherish, and hopefully I can do a little something to contribute.
This opportunity was once in a lifetime, you know, and to be able to come down here and pair with 2 guys and pair with this organization. In order for me to continue to move on in my career, I thought that team that we just defeated had to go through them at some point. But I think it's a big step in not only my career, but for this team.
The Bulls and the Heat making it happen in the Windy City. Chicago took all 3 games in the regular season, but of course, these are the ones that matter.
For the first time in this playoffs, we don't have the opportunity to play at home to start off the series, so we have to have a different mentality.
We look forward to the challenge, man. It's 2 good defensive teams, so it's going to be a struggle offensively for both teams at times, but may the best man win.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate!
Live from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, it's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Best-of-7 Finals.
I expected Chicago to come out strong. This is a team that needed to make a statement, that needed to hit the Heat in the mouth.
But it was the Heat who hit first.
Dang, stripped as James took it away. They look to double team, another steal. Here comes James, turning Rose around and stuffs.
Although it wouldn't last long, the Bulls came right back.
Yes!
It's almost like they reverted to the bad habits. They got beat to the loose balls. They were giving up too many offensive rebounds.
We have got to sacrifice and block out. They're running in.
Watson for 3.
The Bulls utilized the time-tested advantages of dominant offensive rebounding. and an endless string of second-chance points, beating the Heat by 21.
We have to look at where we fell short for game one and come back with a better approach.
It's back to the court for the Miami Heat after the Bulls gave them quite the wake-up call in game number 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Only 2 words I gotta say, man. It's must win. Let's take care of business. Here we go.
The Heat were aggressive early, but as in game 1, the Bulls responded.
Bogans to 3. Yes.
The Heat were also laden with early foul trouble. Coach Spoelstra called upon a familiar face and an eager combatant.
Coming in the ballgame real early, Udonis Haslem now. Let's see what the veteran can do coming off that foot surgery.
No one knew what you would get from him at all. No one knew if you'd get anything.
He hasn't been in really a game, but 2 days ago before practice, I talked with him, and there was a look in his eye. I knew it was time.
Maybe inside UD. Ooh, a right-hand jab and fouled, and say, there's your turnover.
He just came out with so much energy, and it was the old UD, and I think that really gave everybody an emotional lift.
I just was ready, and I wanted to contribute no matter what, no matter how, whatever I had to do.
Rebound to Bibby, and Bibby holds on, hands it to LeBron, down the floor to UD, and UD slammed it. Oh, UD with a huge right-hand jam.
Oh, he crushed it. It just shows a lot to his determination, his heart. I mean, he's the player of the game, no question about it.
The spark from UD also helped the Heat control the boards.
No rebounds, no rings. We can't win this series if we don't control the boards.
The Heat defense held the Bulls to a mere 10 points in the fourth quarter, and LeBron had an offensive outburst in the final minutes.
LeBron turns right. He'll put the 3-ball up and nail it from downtown.
The series has just started. It's 1-1. We're excited that we was able to come here and get a win.
Live from American Airlines Arena in Miami, it's the NBA's Eastern Conference Final.
Back on the home floor, the Heat continued their defensive single-mindedness.
The defense again, just outstanding by Miami.
Blocked by Anthony.
The offense began to heat up in the second quarter when Chris Bosh took control of the game with his offensive effectiveness.
CV had it going. When we have someone going on our team, we continue to give the ball to them and continue to feed off their energy offensively.
Standing at the 3-point arc. Nice pass to Bosh, who hammers home another dunk.
You can just feel the game sometimes when you're going to be aggressive, when you're going to take it.
And for the first time since November, Udonis Haslem was home.
You can hear the crowd behind us absolutely on their feet, ecstatic as Udonis Haslem is coming out onto the floor.
Haslem made a big impact for the Heat, providing his signature selflessness and shot making.
It's been a long time coming. I just was waiting for this moment for so long, and I knew it was going to be a big-time moment for me, and it was something I'll probably never forget.
The Heat's defense frustrated the freshly crowned MVP and took a 2-1 series lead.
Miami leads 2-1. Chicago trying to even up this series.
In a pivotal game 4, the Heat were in control for most of the first half until Chicago went on a run.
What a move by Rose. Oh!
The Heat were down by as many as 8 points in the third quarter until LeBron pulled the Heat within 2.
Mike Miller to LeBron. Oh, a vicious right-hand jam.
In the fourth quarter, it was Miller time.
Miller for 3, got it! Yes, indeed, Mike Miller!
Despite dealing with personal challenges, Mike Miller was a key contributor, missing a double-double by a single rebound.
Mike hadn't slept more than a couple of hours at a time in several days. He and his wife just welcomed their 3rd child. She's in a hospital. Mike's running up there after practices, running up there after games.
We saw him practicing with the hospital band. He was always thinking about his daughter.
The game was neck and neck for most of the quarter, and all tied up with 10 seconds to play.
Rose for the win, and we're headed to overtime.
Overtime belonged to the Heat as they shot 62% and clamped down on defense.
Derrick Rose lost it. Back comes Dwayne Wade and score!
Miami in overtime has taken a stranglehold of this Eastern Conference Final, winning it in overtime.
We did what we wanted to do, man. Take to home court. Now we headed back to Chicago for Game 5, trying to close the series out.
We understand that, we have a little momentum, and that we understand that they're going back home, and the crowd is going to be amazing, and their energy and effort is going to be amazing, and we're going to have to withstand all that.
Nobody ever wants to go home early. In Chicago, it's a tough place to play, so we have to be ready for it.
Anytime you have an opportunity to close it, you want to take advantage of it and not let it stretch out.
While the drama was unfolding in Chicago, 10,000 white-hot fans gathered on Biscayne Boulevard for a special road rally to watch Game 5 on the Miami Media Mesh.
I just got one thing to say to that beautiful crowd out on Biscayne Boulevard. Hey, Miami, how do you like the Heat now?
The Heat on the edge of returning to the NBA Finals for only the second time in team history. Chicago's on the edge of finishing the season or forcing a game number 6.
You expected Chicago's best, and you got it.
Off the steal, here's Dang. Oh, he beats LeBron James.
They are a gritty, proud team. These guys weren't going to quit.
Over for 3. Yes!
The Bulls had a healthy lead at the half, and it continued to grow well into the fourth quarter.
3 on the way, bang from downtown as Brewer nails maybe the biggest basket of the game.
Tony Brewer does it again. Miami calls for time.
With 3 minutes to play, the Heat were down by 12, but would stage one of the greatest fourth quarter comebacks in Heat playoff history.
I just remember the timeout, and coach just looked at us and said, "We've done this before, just believe."
LeBron, 3 on the way, got it from downtown. Step back 3 by Wade, got it and fouled! A chance for a 4-point play. LeBron, he's going to jack the 3 up, got it! And we're tied at 79!
All of a sudden, the guys who happened to be wearing the red uniforms felt they had more power than the 23,000 fans that were all wearing red shirts.
LeBron gonna drive, pull up, jumper. Got it, LeBron! And they lead by 2. Oh my!
We have some special players that when we needed some big-time plays, they were able to do that.
Chicago trying to extend to a Game 6 of the last couple of minutes. Miami turned it with a 16-3 run.
Well, the Eastern Conference title is on the line right now, and so is Chicago's season.
Korver, now they got to look for a 3. They trap Korver. Down to 3, down to 2. Here's Rose, can he get it off? It is blocked.
And that's the ball game. What a comeback for the Miami Heat. They'll advance to the NBA championship for the second time in franchise history.
Nothing's been easy. This has been the toughest win we've had all year, and, it's quite fitting.
We've been through the fire together, and I think all those moments built up a real mental toughness, and we'll need that going to the next round.
I take great pleasure in presenting the Eastern Conference Championship trophy to the Miami Heat.
I'm just excited that these guys get the opportunity to play for a championship. I mean, that's what it was all about. That's why they came together. They're a great, great group of guys.
It wasn't perfect, but it's the Miami Heat way. We stuck it out as a team. We came back and did something unbelievable, man, to win it on the road.
We don't work all year to win the Eastern Conference Finals. We want to win it all, so we're looking forward to it.
We're going to do it, right? Pull them up.
Just hours away from the tip of Game 1, the whole world was watching, anticipating the moment every player dreams of.
I always wanted that moment again, so, I wanted to be, hungry, like I was the first time when I got that moment.
It was D-Wade throwing the ball up after JT missing that three-pointer in Dallas for Game 6, and them just celebrating. I was saying, man, I want to be in that moment, winning and being able to host that trophy up.
So I rolled out of bed, on the day of a game for the finals, already excited, for the opportunity. And, just looking forward to being out there on that court, being the last 2 teams left and, having an opportunity to be the last man standing.
So many thoughts, looking up at that banner, just thinking about how many years it took to get back to this point. It took 5 years to even get back here.
Stolen Bray into the lane, layup blocked by Bosch.
This Miami defense is suffocating, the best in the NBA.
The big three, just right off the bat, the leadership showed. They really came out there very calm, very collected, and I think that went a long way towards setting the tone for this series, because the big three, when they come out and establish themselves, that really gives the other team a lot to think about.
Playmakers. In the middle to Wade, layup, got it, and Wade is fouled.
Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh combined for 65 points. But it was LeBron who went off in the third quarter to help secure the lead.
LeBron, tough angle right shot, got it at the buzzer. Oh, goodness.
You know, this is why they were here. You know, and LeBron especially. I mean, he had waited a long time to seize command of a finals game. He never got that opportunity in Cleveland. You could see that's why he was here in the third quarter of game one.
Heading down the final stretch, Wade helped close game one on a high note.
Wade for three, got it! Oh, Dwayne Wade from downtown! And Miami, their largest lead of the night, as Wade once again has arrived in the building. The Miami Heat take game one of the NBA Finals.
The difference in this basketball game was that you and LeBron James. How simple an equation is that?
Well, I mean, you know, we're two playmakers. We're two guys that not only can get shots and make plays for ourselves, we can do it for our teammates. And on the other end of the floor as well, we both take pride in this.
D-Wade said that to me. He congratulated me after the game on my first finals victory. I mean, it feels good, you know, because it's the first game and we played well as a team.
We believe in each other so much and we've worked so hard that you just know who's down there in the foxhole with you, and you know, that's a confident feeling.
It's one game, and that's it. We're already moving on to game two.
A capacity crowd is making its way into the building as the Heat fan will do their part in keeping the Heat undefeated at home this postseason.
If you're not exhausted tonight after playing this game, you didn't play hard enough, man. It's about playing Miami Heat basketball at the end of the day, man. Here we go. Dominate on three. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
Off the rim. Follow up. Right hand jab by LeBron.
Game two started with relative offensive ease for both teams.
Bibby, difficult shot. How about Mike Bibby tonight?
In the second quarter, Wade elevated his offensive play, helping the Heat tie the score to close the half.
Wade three. Yes!
It was Dwayne in game two, and that was one of the beauties of this Heat team. When you take away LeBron, you take away Chris, you take away certain guys, you play Dwayne Wade one-on-one at times, and you can't play Dwayne Wade one-on-one a lot of the time. Dallas learned that very, very quickly.
Bosch dives to the floor, and LeBron gets it. LeBron for Chalmers underneath, finds Wade, corner three. Yes! Miami by 15!
Dwayne hits that three, and the Heat is up 88-73. I mean, 15-point lead with like 7.5 to go. The Heat doesn't lose that, but, you know, here came Dallas.
Dallas, 13-2 run. Nowitzki, wide open jumper, count it! A 15-2 run. And Miami really struggling.
James, another three. Won't go. Haslam, the offensive rebound. Tried to save it. Ball still loose. Picked up by Terry. A minute remaining. Here goes Narian. Back to Nowitzki. Lefty layup. Banks it in, and the game is tied.
Got it close.
What a comeback from the Mavericks. Timeout Miami.
Tied at 90 with less than a minute remaining. Dirk Nowitzki grabbed the reins and the lead.
Terry to Nowitzki, puts up the three, puts it in! Dallas goes up by 3 with 26.7 remaining. A 20-2 run. One of the most incredible comebacks in NBA Finals history.
The Heat called another timeout and was eager for a shift in momentum.
Brown will inbound with a Heat down 3. Right corner, Chalmers shoots an open 3. Got it! Mario Chalmers ties it with a 3. Shot of the night for Chalmers, who has proven time and time again he could make the big one.
Back the other way with seconds winding down, it was once again in the hands of Nowitzki.
7 to shoot. Nowitzki drives with underneath lefty layup, banks it in with 3.6 remaining. Miami out of timeouts, trailing by 2. James back to Wade. Wade puts it up for the win. Off the mark, and Dallas has tied the finals.
After Dirk hit that shot, his name went down with Allen Houston. That's the only time since that Knicks playoff game in 2000 when Allen Houston hit the shot That's the only time I've heard the arena go from party to funeral like that quick.
The Mavericks were the first team since Michael Jordan's Bulls back in 1992 to overcome a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter and win an NBA Finals game.
No question about it. That's about as tough a fourth quarter you can have. When it started to slide, it just kept on going. But we've been a very resilient group all season long. We've been tested. We've had our backs against the wall. That's when we've responded.
I think that we know we at our best when we're a desperate team. That's what it's about tonight, playing desperate.
It was time for Dallas to host. The Heat were stepping into a hostile environment for the middle three road game.
Wade from downtown hits a tray.
Game 3 was all about the threes. The Heat shot over 50% from long range, including this bomb from Chalmers to close the first quarter with the lead.
Back to Chalmers, puts it up with the buzzer. Oh, he puts it in!
Also in Game 3, it was number 3 who provided the spark for the Heat on both ends of the court.
Swatted away by Wade. Loose ball Wade. Wade's got a free one. And a right-hand tomahawk by Wade.
In the second half, the Heat never trailed.
And James with the finish.
And Bosh made himself feel right at home with 24 points.
Bosh two-hand jam and delivery there by the Texan.
But the Dallas native was slowed when he was poked in the eye.
And Bosh shaken up on the play.
Late in the game, with the Heat leading by 2, Nowitzki tied it to 86.
Nowitzki step back fadeaway. Got it, Nowitzki.
But with 40 seconds left, the Heat would turn the tables.
LeBron has it, top of the circle, double teamed out to Bosh. Corner jump shot is good. Chris Bosh gives Miami a 2-point lead, 88-86.
Well, here's a guy in his hometown, and his eye is half shut. For him to have the poise to catch that pass and hit that shot, just absolutely tremendous.
On the last play, Haslam guarded Nowitzki on the final shot.
Nowitzki spins, head fake, falling away. Shot won't go, and Miami holds on. It takes Game 3.
I was sure that we're going to go to him. I mean, he's a great player. He's going to get a shot off because I'm not going to be able to block it. So I got to just try to slide my feet, beat him to the spot, and stay straight up and make him shoot a tough shot.
That is one gutsy performance. More importantly for you, that was one hell of a shot you hit there along that baseline.
UD made a great screen, and we showed great trust in kicking it to me. And I just didn't show any hesitation. I just knocked it down.
Well, young man, welcome home back to Texas. A nice homecoming.
And everybody says this is really the pivotal game in this series. If the Heat, when they go up 3-1, they could tighten their grip on the Mavs and tighten their grip on this series.
Even though we up 2-1, I still feel like our back is against the wall. And this is a must-win game. Every game we approach, our back is against the wall, and it's a must-win game.
Alley-oop to Wade, and he finishes. Oh, perfect pass.
Game 4 was a battle that the Mavs were ready for early, but the Heat fought back to tie after 1.
The way Dwayne was playing, I mean, you were just thinking, here goes another classic NBA Finals performance by Dwayne.
Wade, quick move, foul from behind, it still goes in.
And Chris Bosh was there providing great support, hitting jumpers, throwing in dunks. I mean, he was having a great hometown performance.
Chris Bosh, the jump shot, knocks it down. What a game for Bosh.
Bosh helped the Heat rally, but his 24 points and Wade's game-high 32 points weren't enough. J.J. Barea created too much havoc, and the Heat found themselves trailing by 3 with 6.7 seconds left.
Miller looking, finds Wade. Wade lost the ball, goes to the backcourt, gets it to Miller. Miller puts it up, and that's it. The Mavericks have evened the series. What a game and what a series.
It's the finals. You just want to make sure every night you leave the court, you feel like, you left it all out there. It's not always going to be a positive result.
And now the Heat look to put all that behind them and pull out another win in the Mavericks' house for game number 5.
Here's the Heat on the road, last game in Dallas, and the Mavericks are going to give everything they've got.
In game 5, Dallas came out strong once again. Things got worse as Wade left in the first quarter with a hip injury, but the Heat bench rose up and made it again.
Howard, free throw line, jumper good, Howard back-to-back field goal.
17-year veteran Juwan Howard made his presence known. He, Miller, and Chalmers paced the Heat to the highest scoring first half of the 2011 finals.
Final seconds, Chalmers gets it off in time. Oh, he puts it in! Mario Chalmers at the buzzer.
In the second half, Miller continued to be a catalyst.
Mike Miller. That's good. Miller back-to-back threes here on the third.
Wade returned in the fourth quarter and made a key three.
9-0 run by Miami and a 4-point Heat lead.
Everybody was making everything. I mean, Dallas had a 30-point first quarter. The Heat had a 30-point first quarter. It was, Dallas up to 60 at the half. Nobody thought that would happen against a Heat team.
The Mavs kept the pressure on, but the Heat did not bow.
The Heat score 100 points in a finals game and don't win. No one thought that would be remotely possible with the way they play defense.
Terry, a long three. Bang! Jason Terry gives the Mavericks a 7-point lead with 33 seconds remaining.
The Mavs won Game 5 and took control of the series, 3-2.
You know, the good thing about life and the good thing about this game, you get another opportunity, another crack at it. So we know it's the thing that's going to either lose or win us a championship. And it's, it comes down to either not closing our games or closing it out.
It was a gloomy day as the series shifted back to Miami for an all-important Game 6.
Now it's really now or never for the Miami Heat.
Is there pressure? Yeah, I mean, there's pressure. It's the finals. I mean, look at everybody. Everybody's got cameras right now. So we have home court advantage and we play well here. So we protect home court, we win it all. Simple as that.
Game 6 between the Mavericks and Heat. Tip-off 8 o'clock tonight.
The Heat are calling Game 6 the single biggest home game in franchise history.
We've earned the right, absolutely earned the right to have confidence coming into our building right here. 6 months of practice. You guys know what to do. It is going to be 48 minutes of absolute relentless athleticism, just coming at them in waves all the way through.
Hey, man, it's simple. It's by any means necessary, man. Simple as that. Bring it on in, man.
You know, our process going into Game 6 in our mind was, this is what we've played for all year. This is what all the blood, sweat, and tears of the season, it went into this moment.
The series is structured for the road team to be ahead 3-2 at that point. And that's how they looked at it. And they came out in Game 6 flying.
Up top, LeBron. 3 on the way. Got it from downtown. Great start for LeBron.
Eric Spoelstra had said many times that LeBron was going to be aggressive. LeBron said he was going to come out more aggressively. He and Dwayne Wade were in the arena the night before the game, working on his shot, trying to find something, trying to find some blast of momentum.
Dwayne, pass to LeBron, inside LeBron, layup and in! LeBron attacking Nowitzki.
LeBron helped the Heat lead early in Game 6 via scoring and assisting others to do the same.
He's 3 for 3.
Trailing early in the second quarter, the Heat surged.
Wade to the basket, counted out a foul.
As he did all season, Eddie House helped regain the lead with his bull's-eye focus.
House, bang! Heat back in front, timeout Dallas.
The energy level was high, but the Heat still trailed by 2 going into halftime. In the third quarter, a Bosch jumper put the Heat ahead, but following that play, the Heat struggled to regain the lead the remainder of the game as the Mavs took control of the second half, mainly behind the effort of Jason Terry. Dallas won their first ever NBA championship.
It is silent outside the AAA.
Eric Spoelstra, after the game, said, as painful as this is, maybe this is something that this team is going to have to go through.
You're an extremely hard-working group that did sacrifice and do all the right things to put yourself in a position to win the whole thing. You just did. Okay, but from me to you guys, I am proud.
I've been in this league 8 years, and 7 years I went home feeling the same way. There's only 1 year I left feeling complete. So it never gets easy. No one expects their season to end when it ends, especially in the finals and on your home floor. To see a team celebrate, it hurts.
We didn't accomplish our goal, but we can use that as fuel moving on. It's the most memories I've ever had from one basketball season.
I truly believe, I think everybody truly believes that we're going to win it. And you need that. Just to have that thought and then not accomplish your goal is tough, but everybody who's ever won something has went through that. So, the pain is encouraging.
And you can never hang your head low when you know how much work, how much dedication that you put into the game of basketball, when the lights are off and the cameras are not on.
With all the ups and downs this team went through, just from day one when it was put together, we built a bond and a friendship that, will probably last forever, regardless of what the situation may be in the future. I think we'll always remember this season and being a part of it.
The band of brothers fell just short of their quest of bringing home their franchise's second NBA crown. But in their very first year together, they won a division title and an Eastern Conference banner. The Heat's three stars, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh, formed the league's highest scoring trio in 20 years. More than anything, though, the Heat has established themselves as a championship contending franchise for years to come. The 2010-2011 season will go down as one of the greatest times in sports history as it seized an unprecedented focus around the world. Everyone was dialed into Miami, Florida, and what the Heat were going to do and who they were going to become.
This team, was like no other team, not even that I played on, but not in the history of sports, in the sense of everything we have to deal with, off the court and on the court. Goes down the book is obviously one of the most exciting seasons, but, one of the best group of guys I've been around.